I am on page 8 of the geometry prep packet that we've been working on. Remember, this is on Google Classroom. And last time we talked about using trig functions and using that shortcut SOHCAHTOA. So this first question is just kind of a review with that. Remember, we just had like an introduction to it. Now today we'll actually use it to solve. But this first one, it says find sine of B. So you circle the letter. And then you have to identify all the three sides, which I just realized I have a typo on here. Let me change this. Let's change that to 15 and that changed to 9. Anyways, my apologies. I didn't realize that there was a typo on there. So to label the three sides, the side across in the right angle, that's the hypotenuse. That's the longest side. So that's where my typo was. And then the side, if you go at the circle, the letter that you circled, draw an arrow across from that is your opposite side, and then the third remaining side is called the adjacent side. So you want to label your three sides first. Now, using SOHCAHTOA, I'm looking at the S because it asks for sine. That's the first three letters. It says O over H. Well, O is 9, H is 15, so it'd be 9 over 15. And again, I don't care if you reduce it or not. So cosine of B, so we're still looking at B, so I'm going to keep these all the same. But now I'm going to look at the C, because C is for cosine, and it says cosine is A over H. So that'd be A, which is 8, over H, which is 15. And again, it goes in the order that's spelled. So A comes first, so your A has to go on top of your fraction. Tangent of B. So again, I'm still looking at B, so all these sides stay the same. And I'm looking at TOA, because that's tangent. TOA is O over A. O is 9 over A, which is 8. So that was just like an introduction on using the shortcut SOHCAHTOA. So what we're going to do today is we're actually going to solve for a missing angle. So all of these are still right triangles. This whole packet is about right triangles. A right triangle means there's a 90-degree angle in the middle. So the first day we did this packet, we did Pythagorean theorem, the a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and that gave us the answer to one of the missing sides of our right triangle. I can't use Pythagorean here because we're missing an angle. Pythagorean only gives us a missing side, so I'm going to use SOHCAHTOA to find what the missing angle is. So in this first one, I could put an X where the missing angle is, because that's what I'm solving for. And wherever X is, that's the angle that you're going to circle to label your three sides. So the side across from the right angle, that's the hypotenuse. And then, if I draw an arrow from that X that I circled, across from that would be the opposite side. And then the third side would be the adjacent side, but I don't need to label that because there's nothing there. O and H are the only two sides that are actually labeled with numbers. O is 51, H is 55. So now that I've done that, they give me O and H. I'm going to go up to SOHCAHTOA and figure out what does that match up with. Well, in this case, it would match up with sine, because sine is O and H. There's no other trig function that has O and H in it. So that means to solve for this X, I'm going to use sine. And it's always sine, cosine, tangent, whatever you're using. In this case, sine. And then it's always parentheses, and here you put the angle. Well, we don't know what the angle is, so we're going to put X. And then I write that fraction out. So since sine is O over H, that'd be 51 over 55. So that's how you set it up, and now I have to actually solve for X. Now to get X by itself, you're going to have to use Desmos. So, if I can do this, I have Desmos pulled up here. and I'm looking at sine of 51 over 55. So to put this into Desmos, I'm going to pull up my keyboard down here. You want to go to the right for functions, and it's under trig. Now if you see under trig, it says sine, cosine, and tangent. And then to the right of that, it says sine, cosine, and tangent again, but they have these little negative ones on it. Because we're solving for a missing angle, I have to use the ones that have a -1. So again, I'm using sine, but I need to click on the one that says sine of -1. Try that again. There we go. And then that'll show up here. And then in those parentheses, you're putting your fraction, 51 over 55.